जायचं ना तिथे अविनाश. तू कधीपासून लावशील पण पैसे?
Good morning, everyone.
गुड मॉर्निंग मॅम.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay. Quickly, anyone would like to mention what we have touch based yesterday? Quick 2 points.
Yes, I will try.
Yes, Neha.
We have seen framework of emotional intelligence. There are four.
Okay. We have seen the framework.
There are four sections under this framework. First one, self-awareness. Second was regulation and social awareness and relationship management.
So first two were related with the personal competencies, and the second row, these two were related with the social competencies.
Yes.
I hope you have followed everyone, because if you know and aware about your own competencies, only then you can able to regulate them, control them, work on them, use them relevantly, isn't it? Yes. Next.
Apart from this, you have given one exercise, and we need to segregate happiness and sadness, and then need to write 5 points under happiness and sadness.
That is the positive and the negative emotions.
Emotions, yes.
Yes. So I hope all of you all have done this exercise. I had given it for home assignment, just to get the feel of the subject. If you all do, definitely you will get the feel of the subject, because this subject cannot, it is not like 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Because 1 plus 1 can be 11. 1 plus 1 can be any other thing. Okay, so in organizational behavior, as it is related with mind and body, it definitely the things are not concrete and mathematical, because we are not concrete. Human beings are all soft, kind of a software kind of a thing, people where I would say. Okay, just we take example of a hardware and a software. We belong to neither software or a hardware, isn't it? I hope you understand this. We are people where. Okay, and when we talk about human behavior and human uh, patterns of human behavior of us and around us, to err is human, we know. To err is human माने मिस्टेक करता है वही ह्यूमन बीइंग होता है ना, लेकिन हमेशा मिस्टेक्स नहीं करनी चाहिए. वी ऑलवेज हियर दिस. ओके, अपने वी नीड टू लर्न फ्रॉम द लेसन्स. Okay, from the experiences and from the past, whatever things are happening with us and around us, we need to take the clues from it, and then अपना अगला पड़ाव तय करना है. How we are going to react, how we are going to behave, how we are going to understand the other person. Accordingly, अगर आपने एनालिसिस किया खुद का और बाकी लोगों का इन सिचुएशन का, definitely you will benefit yourself, and there would be win-win situation for the most of the time if you study it well. Obviously, there are no theories, whatever theories are given in this area as well. These theories are proposed by so many people based on their experiments, but then obviously reading between the lines जैसा हम बोलते हैं, तो there are no percentile or there are no mathematical theories which can really prove or disprove these theories. Okay, so this is majority wins की तरह है ये. Okay, but then this is the only method. There is no other method. जैसे एस्ट्रोलॉजी है, न्यूमरोलॉजी है, ग्राफोलॉजी है. These are sciences based on some calculative understandings, based upon the behavioral patterns and analytical patterns. Okay, based on some kind of a background theory. Okay, but then there is, we cannot say 100% foolproof. Okay, similarly organizational behavior, we cannot say 100% foolproof, but then yes, if you know it, you are in a better position than the other person, definitely, because more or less these have been there have been extensive research done in this area. Okay, then let's move ahead. Anything else anyone would like to reflect? on yesterday's session?
Ma'am Dipali here.
Yes, Dipali.
Yeah, you also informed us about the ways to improve yourself, that we should get out of the comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
We should not judge anyone, or we should not make a decision whether we are in a good mood or a bad mood.
Okay.
Explained about the bird eye view.
Bird's eye view. Okay, what was that?
That self means we should. It was all about the self improvement. That before going into any decision, you should make yourself aware about the things.
Okay.
And bird's eye view is like, for example, means we should gauge it all over. As per
Mm-hmm.
my understanding, we should not see one thing. We
You
should
need
keep
to
a
have a holistic view.
holistic. Yeah, we should overall see the things.
Mm-hmm. And one important thing we are missing, nobody is mentioning about it. What is that one thing also which we have seen yesterday? Yes. When the screen is on, you will be able to identify. Is it the screen visible? Is the screen
Difference
visible?
between,
याद आया?
yeah, I was going to tell. Yes, yes ma'am.
So this was the important topic which we have talked about yesterday. I put the slide on the screen. I put this slide on the screen because we had skipped this slide. Okay, I had asked you all to read. So as it is a recapitulation of yesterday, we can just have a glance over it so that we get it as a glimpse of the whole half an hour which we spent on this. Okay, that is the difference between emotional intelligence. We talked about emotions. We talked about emotional intelligence. We talked about emotional quotient, and then at the end we also talked about the difference between the emotional quotient and the, what was that other, intelligence quotient, and how IQ is the tip of the iceberg. Okay, wherein EQ is the big picture. That's what Dipali was saying right now. We need to see the bigger picture, because otherwise Titanic collision ho sakta hai, because we don't see the underlying emotions, we don't see the underlying patterns. Okay, we just see the some kind of a scene in front of us, and then we become judgmental, which is wrong. Okay, so based on your wisdom everything, the matlab world chalta hai, lekin fir bhi you need to also take care about the EQ. Okay, whenever you take any decisions in your life and in your profession, don't go by emotions. It is always said that whenever you are angry or whenever you are very happy, in extreme moods, never take any decision. Just give yourself some time. Okay, let your mind be stable. Please remember, not only anger, but even happiness may put you in trouble if you take a emotional decision. Okay, and then you are at a loss. Okay, बहुत बार ऐसा होता है, मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ था, जैसे कोई सब्जी लेने जाऊं और बहुत ही इमोशन से मैंने कुछ लिया और मुझे चुना लग गया वैसे. Okay, I'm just giving a very rough example, but then things happen in our life. Okay, we get carried away with some of the facts unknown or half known or some emotions, and we may take a hasty decisions which may land us in trouble, or we may experience some kind of losses. So apart from definitions, EQ, we talked about identifying, evaluating, controlling, and expressing the emotion one owns. Okay, perseverance, persiveness, assessing emotions, using emotions that facilitates our thinking process so that we take meaningful decisions. When we talk about IQ, it's the ability to learn, understand, and apply information to skills, focusing on the logical reasoning, word comprehension, mathematical skills, abstract and spatial thinking, filter irrelevant information. So this becomes some kind of a logical, kind of a concrete, kind of a stepwise kind of a approach. Whereas EQ is based upon emotion, our perception, okay, and our ability to think, our ability to facilitate and understand feelings of ourselves and the other person. When we apply this on the workplace, when we talk about the IQ, the success with challenging tasks, ability to analyze and connect the dots, research and development. Whereas when we talk about EQ, teamwork, leadership, successful relations, service orientation, initiative, collaboration, all depends upon the EQ. See, many times those who are working may understand, and those who are not working will appreciate that when you work in team, if you don't have that bonding, you will not be able to work. कोई भी फिल्म, अगर मैं बहुत वेग एग्जांपल दे रही हूँ, लाइक फ्रॉम द फिल्म इंडस्ट्री, किसी के साथ किसी की केमिस्ट्री जुड़ जाती है. इट हैपेंस ऑन द सेट व्हेन, आई मीन, before the movie is being casted, rather is actually shooted. After the casting is done, there may be some kind of mingling of the characters, so that they get into the comfort zone. They are comfortable with each other to play that character whichever they need to be, they need to play in that particular shoot. So that not only that's not only with the characters but also the other team members. Okay, so many crew or team members are there, right from the spot by to the director, editor, cinematographer, and so many other people in the film industry, apart from the artists. Okay, so that becomes a workplace in the film industry. In a typical office scenario as well, there are so many team outings which takes place, and they are sponsored by the organization. आपको क्या लगता है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फालतू में खर्च कर रही है अपने टीम पे, अपने एम्प्लॉयज पे? ऐसे कभी नहीं होता. Okay, they spend on you based on the kitty which is assigned to that project manager. Okay, ये प्रॉपर और फॉर्मल प्रोसेस होता है, which is year mark कि ये क्वार्टर के लिए इतना kitty इस एक्टिविटी के लिए खर्च करना है, because they believe in working together. Without teams you cannot build a cases. Okay, you cannot deliver a project in time, you cannot give the quality outputs, you cannot lock in the customer in whichever business you are. Okay, all these things, the underlying base, the underlying rock solid base is the emotional quotient of your team members and yourself also, obviously. Okay, so there are so many team outings which takes place, and not only sightseeing तो होती है, लेकिन more importantly there are so many games and team building exercises. अगर ये offline class होता तो I would have taken some team building exercises in the class. If we happen to meet sometimes, definitely I'll take that chance to conduct few games and few exercises. But then to mention over here is that टीम स्पिरिट बिल्ड करने के लिए आपके साथ एक दूसरे के साथ आपको घुल मिलना होगा, आपके एक दूसरे के साथ अंडरस्टैंड करना होगा एक दूसरे के पर्सनालिटी ट्रेट्स, सो दैट you adjust, or you inspire, or you get motivated, or if anyone there is a void in the character, you fill in that gap. Okay, you actually try to gel with each other, and that's very important for any collaborative activity, because that utilizes your full potential positively, and the output is fantastic. So definitely any organization would love to have their team which is happy, satisfied, and in a good team spirit, with a good team spirit, sportsmanship, so that they are a strong team, they come up, they evolve. क्योंकि कोई भी टीम वीक या स्ट्रांग नहीं होती, they get evolved. Okay, because every individual is a different personality. You and I all are unique, so together when we work, okay, there are certain gaps, there are certain drawbacks and limitations in each of us. Okay, some of them are smartly camouflaging them, some of them may not. Okay, some of them may have good abilities, but then they are camouflaged by the other people shining, even though if there is no any strength within them. So you need to balance the whole team, so that the best output, because even though a person may not have the potential for so that he or she is contributing, maybe someone else will pull out the skill from that person. Even sometimes I as an individual I may not be aware about my own strengths. When you mingle in the team, sometimes this get evolved. So even you are going to have a self realization when you work within the team. What are my shortfalls? What are my threats? What are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? When you do a SWOT analysis, strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, we will talk about it sometimes later. But then this SWOT analysis, that is knowing one's strengths, weaknesses, definitely is not always put on as a threat to put down someone. But definitely, when we talk from the team building perspective, it is supposed to be the most important tool to build a particular team. Okay, so emotional quotient works wonderful over here in building team and having that particular project successful. When we talk about the IQ, definitely it is something which we can it can be programmed. Okay, if you know that this individual is good in this particular domain and is excellent in this particular skill set, you can nurture it and you can get honed in it. That is, you can get from a smart level to genius level. You can advance in a systematic way. That can be calculative. That can be calculative because you have certain tools which can analyze it in percentage. So IQ is can be measured predominantly better than EQ, and the success of handling any challenging task can be analyzed. So definitely both these EQ and IQ are going to be important in our lives. When we talk about EQ, leaders, team players, individuals who work who best work alone, individual with social challenges can be identified. क्योंकि अगर कोई individual मतलब extrovert या introvert है, you can definitely facilitate and take the best out of it because of his other good abilities. Okay, so leaders get evolved, team members get evolved, the best of the team happen because of the team building capabilities. Okay, of getting accommodative, okay, along with your team members. That big builds a particular team. Okay, highly capable or gifted individuals with mental challenges and special needs can be identified with the help of IQ. Okay, that there are certain tests for both these types, EQ and IQ, which helps us identify these individuals. Okay, so here I'll stop for the recap and we'll go to for today's session. We have talked about it. So quickly, I would like to take you all through transaction analysis, and then we would like to start today with personality as a topic, which will end the first chapter. Probably we may end the personality chapter tomorrow. The first half we will have it today. So starting with transaction analysis, basically अब तक जो भी पिछले week में last week whichever concepts we have studied, they all fall into the transaction analysis. If you could recall right from the today's recapitulation, that is, we talked about emotions, emotional intelligence, emotional quotient, intelligent quotient, that is EQ and IQ. We talked about Johari window. Okay, so we talked about attitudes. Okay, we will be talking about personality. Now all these things come under transactional analysis. Okay, now as we have talked about all these concepts, you will be in a better position to understand and relate what I mean to say by transaction analysis. It is the most important and critical aspect of organizational behavior. Okay, wherein we consider this as a method of analyzing and understanding interpersonal behavior. Okay, when we talk about team building and group dynamics, definitely transaction analysis becomes the core part because it talks about, it hits the target of interpersonal, how one individual interacts with other and vice versa. Okay, that actually is a component of team building. Okay, so you need to focus on this aspect. When people interact, there is a social transaction in which one person responds to another. The study and analysis of these transactions between people is called as transactional analysis. The significance: transactional analysis is one of the strategies or tools of organizational development. It helps people better understand themselves and their effects on others, and it is widely used to analyze group dynamics and interpersonal communications. That's what we have seen for the last week. These are the components of transactional analysis. Analysis of self-awareness. We talked about with the help of one example, one case of a pampered child, wherein empathy and self-awareness was one of the important competencies which that girl should have imbibed, should inculcate within her, so that she becomes a better individual handling her team, because she was a spoiled, pampered child. Okay, so later on we talked about how it has to be, what would be the solution. The solution we talked about was self-awareness and showing empathy. uh, Structural analysis talks about the ego state. When we talked about ego state, basically I mentioned about three ego state. Can anyone just mention what are those ego states? Can remember what are those ego states? Three ego states we mentioned in the structural analysis. What were the ego states? Anyone can recall? Need not explain, at least recall.
Ma'am,
Yes,
parent, ego state, adult, and child.
very good. Okay, so we talked about these three ego state, wherein parent ego state, actually we talked about a personal, a person in an authoritative, i- position, we can say. Okay, he is in a controlling or administrative position. We actually assume ourselves. Okay, and these particular characteristic usually we actually get them from our fatherly figures in our home, for example. Okay, in our past life, or in our early life, we can say past life experiences. Okay, so it's therefore we can say that it is taught. मेरी माँ ने मुझे ये सिखाया है, या मेरी दादी ने, I have an impact of my dadi. So that kind of learnings are having impacts on me when I take a particular decision, or when I act accordingly, or my elder sister probably. Okay, so that kind of parently figure has some impact on you, and our learnings unconsciously or subconsciously, we may say, have been impacted our lives. Okay, so that parent ego is nurtured in that way. Okay, adult, that is parent ego. Adult ego basically we talked about this person's personality trait, wherein we actually based upon, again, it could be based upon the observation, we can say, of maybe parents, maybe friends, maybe some kind of idol, some kind of personality in the history or in the current scenario in the modern world. So these observations have given you some kind of rational thinking style in you. Okay, so adult ego is nurtured by the sense of responsibility and your maturedness. Okay, so probably like my daughter, basically in a very child, in a very small, you can say young age, she is capable of taking some mature decisions in some certain situations, some kind of a critical situation. So that maturity level is above her age, because of her experiences. She might have analyzed, she might have observed certain things happening around her, and she took the clues from the incidences happening around her. She might have interacted with the persons like her parents, so that she actually cross verifies her understanding also. It's very important. You cannot take inferences and go into particular stage. Okay, you have to cross verify, and probably she might have then applied in a real sense in her own personal life, and which might have proved successful. Okay, now this stepwise procedure might have led her to become, have that kind of a adult ego state. Okay, so this is another personality trait we can consider. And the last, when we talk about child ego state, now many people behave childish. Okay, immature, this becomes that personality state. Even when they grow up, they actually behave in that particular way. Okay, so this behavioral pattern are influenced by emotions, or probably that particular child is too much pampered, or that particular child is maybe because of too much of suppressiveness shown by the parents. That child might be a rebellion child or a stubborn child. Okay, so that feeling of being a rebellious child may be an example of a ego state, child ego state. Okay, so we talked about these three ego states in the earlier sessions, in short. Okay, uh, we'll see one by one in the further slides also. I forgot that I have slides further for this. So we talked about self and self awareness. It implies knowing about ourselves to what extent a person is aware of himself affects his interpersonal transactions. We talked about Johari window, which is useful framework to analyze self-awareness, and I also gave you example of that pampered child to show how it can be rectified and what would be the corrective step. Just now I mentioned about ego state. I'll skip this. I talked about these three main ego states just now: parent ego, adult ego, and child ego. Parent ego, we get learnings of life concepts through our past, and behavior, thoughts, and feelings copied from our parents or parental figure. That's what I said just now. For example, do as I do. Okay, मी सांगते ना असं कर. So we have got that pressure from our adults which are there in our lives. Okay, the parent figures. So we go into that parent ego state. Okay, our behavior is impacted by them. Adult ego state, thought concepts of life. Okay, please remember what is the difference. Parent ego is taught concept, that is we learned, we were actually taught ये ऐसा करना है, ये वैसा करना है. That's it. Okay, so do as I do. That is a parent ego. When we talk about adult ego, we are learning through and we are using our thought process. Our behavior, thoughts, and feelings are direct responses to the here and now in the current situation. Okay, that I'll be frank with you that I have this particular understanding. Okay, I gave example of my own child. Okay, how she is much mature than her existing age because of the clues she got from the incidences happening around her, and she used her thought process, okay, to become a mature child. Okay, so she got into the adult ego state. Child ego state, it is the felt concept of life which predominantly has impact of emotions. Okay, especially childish emotions, behavior, thoughts, and feelings replayed from childhood. What shall I do? When I say what shall I do, you may be perplexed, or you may be in a situation you may not move ahead. Then probably you may react in a childish way. Okay, so you may go in the child ego state. So please remember, when we talk about these three ego state in a particular situation, okay, maybe a person might in all the situation have may have impact of one particular ego state, or one particular person might go through multiple ego states as per the situation. Okay, I'll repeat. A person may have predominantly a style of himself or herself, okay, that she is of this particular ego, xyz ego state, p, a, or c. Okay, in any situation whatever is in front of that person. Okay, you may find individuals. Okay, whereas there might be other individuals who may react to the situation as per the situation. Okay, analysis of transactions from the OB point of view, more important aspect is how one ego state matches or conflicts with another ego state in interpersonal interaction. Transactions can be classified into three groups: complementary transactions, cross transactions, and ulterior transactions, that is hidden or mysterious. Okay, now when we talk about the complementary transaction, basically they occur when you actually send, or you send some message, or the behavior shown by one person's ego as an output, okay, in an appropriate or expected response from other person's ego state. How, when you are two people or a group of people interacting, how these ego state actually collide with each other or complement each other. Now I'm talking in a very philosophical and technical way, but when you actually imagine yourself, how did that argument you took place in your past, maybe recent argument you can recall after this session, and then you actually become the third person. You are A, the other person is B, and you actually you might have landed in an argument, some kind of dispute, and just right now, when you close your eyes, just recall that incidents, and you become the third person and observe those A and B. Now you will understand how the things got actually exploded, where whoever went wrong, whether it was your ego or that other person's ego. Where did the interpersonal relationship got actually spoiled? Okay, So this can be understood by such kind of analysis of transactions. So complementary transactions definitely is a positive interpersonal give and take. Okay, so it's a response to the stimulus of two different personalities and two different ego states. Okay, cross transactions, the source are again interpersonal, maybe again example as I just mentioned, conflict. Okay, complementary is accommodating each other. As an example, two ego states accommodating each other, say for example parent and adult, or parent and child, adult and parent child. These could be accommodative. When we talk about cross, the example which I gave fits in this. That is, some dispute might have taken place. That is a cross transaction. Two ego state clashed. Again, it could be the same example, parent and child, or parent ego and adult ego. दोनों के dominant थे. And then you landed up in some kind of dispute. Okay. So cross transactions, the source are again interpersonal. For example, conflict in an organization, there could be hurt feelings and frustrations on part of the parties involved and possible dysfunctional consequences to the organization. So hence, it has to be avoided. You need to understand that any dispute and conflict is not going to help the team. It is going to harm the team. And the last is ulterior or mysterious. Okay. Now, whenever we talk about such kind of mysterious transaction, probably the ego states are not revealed. Okay, so when we talk about say probably recall your mom or dad, or probably whoever are working, your boss saying, my door is always open, please come in and we shall discuss the problem together. Now when we talk about, when we listen to this particular dialogue, actually that person might have shown some understanding, displaying the adult ego state. Okay, but probably you might have interpreted as, don't come to me with problems. Okay, don't come to me with problems, you solve on your own. Okay, are you are you getting paid for just displaying the problems and coming to me because my doors are open? You may interpret in a different way, in a different style. Okay, probably that becomes the parent ego state. Okay, now this is something which cannot be revealed immediately because you may not have that clue. If you are a new employee, you may not have that clue actually कि बॉस का बोलने का कुछ और है और एक्चुअली वो उसका इंटेंशन कुछ और होता है. If you actually are not aware about it, it's called as ulterior transactions. Whereas on the contrary, when I can focus on one example of a very small baby and a mother, definitely a baby understand, although he's a small child or it's a small baby, he knows or she knows when to actually get attention of the mother. Okay, now when we talk about this and through various methods, okay, so it's not hidden, it's very known. Okay, for parent it might be hidden. Okay, so ulterior are unknown, hidden and mysterious transactions. Next is life script analysis. Life script is like a script of a role one has to play in drama. It is total description about a person's philosophy of life, goal, ambition, attitudes, etc. affects the life script. So it describes his total pattern of living in the world, how you actually position yourself. So life positions are basic belief about self and others which are used to justify decisions and behavior. This image is self-explanatory. You might have received it in WhatsApp many times. But definitely जो होता है वैसे दिखता नहीं है, kind of a thing. The other way around to look towards is that you may project yourself in some other way. Okay, it's up to you how you position yourself, because when we talk about life on the canvas of life in this world, okay, you are a XYZ individual, you know yourself, but when you actually step onto the stage of this drama which is played in the social environment, may it be formal or informal way, you need to project yourself in the right way. Maybe you are fine, you are okay to display as you are, who you are, or you may like to display yourself with some other projections like what you can see over here. Now, life script and life positions take us to a very interesting model which is called as the OK Corral model, which is a life position quadrants, you can say. You can focus on this, you can take a snapshot of this. Okay. Now this OK Corral, please take a snapshot. I'll give you a minute over here. I hope you have taken the snapshot of this, the screenshot of this.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now focus on the OK Corral over here. This is the modern transactional analysis theory based on life positions and the OK Corral. Okay. Life positions are perception of world. They are basic belief about self and others, which are used to justify decisions and behavior. OK Corral can be linked to blame. Okay. I am to blame, you are okay and I am not okay, which is indicates helplessness. You are to blame, I am okay and you are not okay. I'm getting agitated probably. We are both to blame. Now this is a hopeless condition. I am not okay and you are also either. Now let's understand what all these life positions are. Because whenever you land up in any problem or whenever you land up in a critical situation, you may judge yourself with the OK Corral life positions. So when we talk about life positions, okay, uh, all of us at different situations, we take some stand in our lives. We take some stand in our lives. Okay, from which games are played. I'm using very crude kind of word. Okay, नौटंकी करते हैं, कोई भी कितना भी बोले कि नहीं करता लेकिन करते हैं, sometimes innocently, sometimes deliberately, लेकिन everyone plays game. Okay, so life positions, a person takes a stand in the life from which games are played and scripts are acted out. Sometimes the scripts are thought over very deliberately, sometimes वो हो जाता है because of your behavioral pattern, and then you later on you are confused, अरे मैंने ऐसे क्यों बोला उसको, अरे how did I land up in the situation. Okay, because unknowingly कुछ हो जाता है, you enact as per your mind game. Okay, or else there are characters which we see in the serials and around us also for that matter, who have deliberately scripted that particular situation. They knew what were the consequences and they had designed their moves. जैसे chess में होता है कि you know how the camel is going to have his move, or elephant is going to have the move. Okay, now whatever moves in the chess is there is all deliberate thing, thoughtful process, games. And based on the permutation and combination, you actually calculate, be calculative in your moves. Okay, so every games, every skip, every destination, we can chalk out, and then based on these four basic positions, we can keep shifting between these positions also. That is the beauty of this OK Corral. Okay, that is, we have the game, we have the script, we have the destiny also. Okay, and we have these four positions also. कब हमको okay होना है, कब नहीं होना है, that we can decide. Okay, now coming to this particular quadrant, the four quadrant, focusing on the first quadrant. Sorry, I'm not okay, you are okay. I'm not okay, you are okay. तुम्ही बरोबर आहात, माझंच काहीतरी चुकलं असेल. Okay, typically people who feel powerless, weak when they compare with others, they get into this position. There are withdrawal symptoms. This may lead to the depression. Sometimes small suicidal attempts are also taken place because my position is a depressive position. I feel that I'm not okay. पूरा जग अच्छा है लेकिन मुझ में ही कुछ प्रॉब्लम है. Okay, so this position is I'm not okay, you are okay. Now you will decide whether to get into this position or not, because it will lead to depressive position. You need to get away from. Coming to the second position, I'm okay, you're also okay. This is the best position, the healthy position. You need to get on with. Okay, you are good, fine. I'm also not less. I'm also good. Let's work together for inner harmony. This is the best healthy position. Okay, because we can solve the problem constructively, creatively in this position. We may be we may show valid expectations. We may accept significance of other people's. We may respect them. Okay, my mother always say, give away the world the best you have and the best will come back to you. If you have this kind of concept imbibed in your mind, you will never harm anyone. Okay, respect receive करने के लिए आपको respect देना भी जरूरी है. Okay, and then this will land you up in healthy position, that is I'm okay and so are you. This is the second position. Coming down to the third position. Third position is, worst of the first position of depression. It is again futility and despair position. Okay, I'm not okay and you are not okay as well. People exhibit extreme emotion, extreme distress, looking hopeless to the situation and lacking interest in the life itself. And जो लोग डिप्रेशन पोजीशन में होते हैं, they may drop down to this position if they are not if they don't help themselves, if they do not take help of counselors or their fatherly figures or someone in their life who is positive. The depressive position may drop down to the position of futility and despair and actually suicidal हो जाता है. ओके, डिप्रेसिव पोजीशन में अटेम्प्ट किया जाता है, लेकिन अगर वो बहुत ही ज्यादा एक्सट्रीम है, ओके, क्योंकि डिप्रेशन की पोजीशन इनिशियल पोजीशन है कि जग अच्छा है मैं ही बुरा हूं, लेकिन उससे बदतर क्या है, ना ये जग अच्छा है ना मैं अच्छा हूं, आई एम नॉट फिट इन दिस वर्ल्ड एंड नाइदर द वर्ल्ड इज फिट फॉर मी, लेट्स एग्जिट. That kind of switching of things come in our mind. We are having extreme emotions. Okay, I am not okay and you are also not okay. Hopeless condition. Let's move on to the last position, which is arrogant and paranoid position. That is also not appropriate. A person who is autocratic leader may show such kind of display of character. Okay, wherein he feels that I'm okay and the pura jag acha nahi hai. You are all wrong. I'm right. Now, such kind of people are very, very dominating. They are arrogant at times. Okay, the person who feels victimized, victim others also. मेरी सास ने मुझे तंग किया, मैं भी इसको तंग करूंगी. That kind of mentality. Because you might have fallen prey of some situation earlier, and now you want the other world also to experience it, that bitterness. You are blaming others for their miseries. Paranoid behaviors hai, criminal mindset hai. Okay, and you are getting rid of the things by actually putting the other person in that situation in which you have walked that piece of life and experienced the bitterness. This is totally unhealthy position. Okay, friends, are you following this, whatever I'm saying? Can you please respond?
Yes, ma'am.
All of y'all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Which is the most healthy position? Both of us are okay. I'm okay and you are okay. And which is the worst condition? I'm not okay and you are also not okay. Okay. So these are the 4 quadrants which you need to understand to position yourself in life. And you may shift your position. You may, because you can change it. You can improvise. If a person is really drop down in despair, you can give a hand to that person and lift. टीम बिल्डिंग में भी ये आइडेंटिफाई होता है. कोई पर्सन कंट्रीब्यूट ही नहीं कर रहा है, he is switched off, he is not performing, it is going to hamper your team effort. अगर आपको कोई फ्रेंड है और आपको पता ही नहीं है उसके ऊपर क्या गुजर रही है, आपकी फ्रेंडशिप टिकेगी नहीं. यू नो, फ्रेंडशिप बनाना इज वन थिंग, बट देन उसको निभाना भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. उसके लिए भी ये लाइफ पोजीशंस मैटर करते हैं. You need to understand the life positions for yourself as well as for other person too. So this is modern transactional analysis theory, which is really useful. Okay, ये blame game के ऊपर है, लेकिन आपको अगर आपको ये समझ में आता है तो ये okay position में आप जाते हो, दूसरों को भी उस position पे लाते हो, तो it's a win-win situation. Do you get it? Yes, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any questions? Okay, moving ahead is stroking. Now, the concept of stroking or emphasis on stroking is important in transactional analysis as a technique, because it suggests something which is professional skills. Okay, humans basically have continual need for stroke, which can be understood as simple units of interpersonal recognition. Okay, for example, managers and supervisors can create positive work environment, healthy environment, and positive relationship with the employees by giving constant strokes. Okay, this actually leads to a very healthy position. Okay, it leads to a very healthy position. Now, when we talk about the strokes, uh, uh, like I get a pat on my back from my boss. Okay, I am appreciated for my efforts put in. I get positive feedback in the team. These are the strokes I'm talking about. Okay, they may be physical, like if I just put my hand on my daughter's head, she feels relaxed. This would be a positive stroke. Similarly, my team member, I can give a thumbs up to whenever he or she is contributing positively. Okay, that gives a feeling of a positive stroke. Okay, the way you handshake, now in corona we are not doing it, but then usually I would have in the class conducted one exercise wherein I would have asked few volunteers to handshake each other. The way they shake their hands shows how much they know, the feelings and the behavioral strokes are identified. Okay, whether you are pressing it hard, whether you are doing it comfortably, or whether you are just doing it for the sake of, it's revealed in the handshake. Okay, it's revealed in the pat on the back. जैसे जादू की झप्पी है. This is also an example of stroking. Okay, the way you actually do it gives the reflexes. Okay, similarly, negative work attitudes may ensure if employees experience negative stroke. Constant criticism, bossing, nagging in the work continuously. Okay, that becomes negative stroke for any employee. Okay, so basically when we talk about stroking, people often need positive stroking, recognition, appreciation in order to get motivated. Okay, उन एम्प्लॉय का मोरल हाई होता है जिन लोग अपने बॉस से, अपने रिपोर्टिंग मैनेजर से, या अपने पेरेंट्स से, या अपने एल्डरली पीपल से पॉजिटिव स्ट्रोक्स जिन लोगों को मिलता है. Okay, because they fuel, strokes fuel them, they keep them active and satisfied. I mean, this becomes one of the important characteristic of job satisfaction also. When we say that you're satisfied, how you're going to quantify it? So this becomes one important ingredient. I'm satisfied because I'm getting recognitions. I'm satisfied because I'm getting appreciation. I'm satisfied because I get that love and care. So these strokes actually help us identify our own variable of satisfaction. Okay, it could be physical or it could be psychological as well. Okay, so this is about the stroke. And the last point in transactional analysis is game analysis. Now, when we talk about game analysis, basically there are multiple mind games which are there. When we talk about transactional mind games, basically these are played at work with series of repeated transactions. And for example, passing the buck could be one example I would have taken in the class. Passing the buck, which often occurs in the organizations. So basically, important decisions are taken apparently. Various hierarchical levels of managerial people are, part of this team member when such kind of passing the buck game is played. So basically, a boss may play the role of आई मीन रोल प्लेइंग अभी हम नहीं कर सकते वर्चुअल सेशन में, बट मे बी यू कैन कंसिडर दिस win and lose game and some kind of boss and subordinate games. Probably I'll pass on some of the exercises to you all sometimes later, and you can take it uh, on your own as a home assignment. So basically, game analysis may, it may be defined as intellectual, calculative, and logical tactics with hidden meaning that can yield result in one's favor. तो ये बिहेवियरल पैटर्न को रिवील करता है और आप डिसीजन मेकर किस तरह के हो, टैक्टिकल, स्ट्रैटेजिक एंड इन व्हाट वे. ओके, हर एक का एक स्टाइल होता है. ओके, तो उसका कंट्रीब्यूशन रिवील होता है. जैसे आई मेंशन इन टेक महिंद्रा, agile is predominantly used for the BT projects, and we have certain meetings like the daily meetings of 15 minutes as well as retrospective meetings. Specifically, when you end the project and deliver it, we are puzzled, baffled कि अरे ये कैसे हो गया. It could be positive and negative. Probably we took more than the required time. Why? We actually retrospect. या फिर ऐसे भी हो सकता है कि अरे ये यहाँ पे हम अटक गए थे, लेकिन अचानक से XYZ person came from the team and resolved it, but we were not aware of his abilities earlier. तो ये evolve हो गया. That was a knowledge silo in the team which got revealed in a particular situation. So accordingly, retrospective meetings could be an example of this, wherein people logical as well as strategic things are revealed over here. The extent to which such game result into desirable outcomes depend on the number of factors such as the player, opposite players, and other environment. Games are played to get desired response to meet some expectations. Games always have win-lose outcomes. That is, games end with benefits to one and loss to other. Both superior and subordinate play games for their benefit. Most games are dysfunctional for productive interpersonal relations. Games are played to get favor of authority, promotion, and priority, discriminative incentives, or to settle enmity. Sometimes games are played due to envious or unhealthy mentality, and analysis of games elicits a lot of valuable information which can be used for improving relations, formulating policies, and creating healthy climate and culture. Yeah. So at the end, last 5 minutes are there. I would like you all to watch 1-2 minutes clipping, and then we'll end for today's session. Basically, today we saw transactional analysis, wherein by transactional analysis we actually focus on how people communicate. It impacts our interpersonal behavior. How analyze personalities we saw in structural analysis, wherein we saw the three ego states, how they play role. Then we saw stroke analysis, when how people recognize each other. Okay, positive and negative strokes, that is appreciation as well as deliberate blame game can happen. Stroke analysis impacts again the transactional analysis as positive or negative input. Life script analysis we saw, wherein we position ourselves with the okay no okay position. Perception of world by life positions through okay corral. And lastly, we saw ulterior transactions, that is in intentionally hidden things when we talk about game analysis. Okay, quickly we'll see one small video which I want you all to watch over here. I hope this slide is visible. Is the
Slide
video
is
visible?
not yet, ma'am.
People are complicated. Have you seen my watch?
Is it audible?
Yes, it's fully audible.
Yes or no?
It is audible, but
What
the
time is
video
it?
is not
Why do you
visible.
always blame me for everything?
Why don't you keep your things in their proper place?
Sorry I'm late.
Give me a minute. hope it's visible.
People are complicated.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen my watch? What time is it?
Why do you always blame me for
Why don't you
everything? Keep your things in their proper place.
Sorry I'm late.
I'm so upset. I just don't know what to do about Bill. He doesn't seem to be listening to me anymore, and he's always running out on me. Please pick up the phone on line 3.
It's very difficult to understand why people behave the way they do.
Why don't you sit him down and have a serious talk? Yes, I've tried, but he still won't sit still. Did you hear about his wife?
You think you've got problems? Wait till you hear mine.
Oh, you probably have cabin fever. Why don't you just take a vacation from each other? Yes, but we can't afford it.
Do you have a copy of the report, for example? What time is it? You too cheap to buy a watch?
Well, why don't you just get a divorce? Yes, but what about the kids? Please pick up the phone on line 3. Why me? Why always me? Isn't there anybody else in this department who can answer the phone?
Sometimes our own behavior
Why do
puzzles
you
us.
always blame me for everything?
We dismiss our puzzling behavioral patterns with, "That's the way I am. There's nothing I can do about it." But if we look closely within us, we'll find a logical explanation for most of the things we say
Why do you
and
always
do.
blame me for everything?
Never talk with food in your mouth. Birds of a feather flock together. You can never...
Are you okay? Helps us in that quest. Are You Okay uses the time-tested techniques of transactional analysis to demonstrate that people can change. Are You Okay uses clear and crisp graphics, simple, jargon-free language, and easy-to-understand examples to illustrate how we can analyze our own behavior to act more rationally and positively. If you think you know the answer, why don't you do Transactional analysis actually works. Transactional analysis has changed the lives of millions. If you're a teacher, a manager, a wife, a husband, or anybody who interacts with people in their day-to-day life, Are You Okay can benefit you.
Okay, that's it for today. We'll see more on the last topic, that is personality, in the session tomorrow. Okay, any questions before we stop here?
No, ma'am.
Any question? I hope today's topic was understood by everyone. Transactional analysis is a very important topic. And the OK Corral.
Yes.
Okay, then have a nice day. We'll meet tomorrow. Good day. Bye-bye.